Hi guys, this is Varisha, a data analyst at Syntax Technologies, and in this video I'm going to provide you with an overview of how to create a complete dashboard in Microsoft Power BI. Now, the data set that I'm going to be using for this dashboard is called the Superstore US database, which is basically a SQL Server database. And as you can see on the right side under the fields list, the specific table that I have imported from the data set is the orders table. So I'm in my report view, and as you can see, we have a wide variety of visualizations in the visualization panel on the right. First of all, let's give our dashboard a title. I'm going to call my dashboard Superstore US Sales Performance Dashboard. For that, I'm going to select a text box and position it in the center of my dashboard. So for that, I can simply change the dimensions and position it in the center of my dashboard. And then I'm going to write Superstore US Sales Performance Dashboard. Now I'm going to modify my title and change the font size. So let's increase the font to a 20, let's say, and I'm going to centrally align it. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it underlined. And then I can also change the font type. And the color is, let's actually stick to a black color. And then I can change the position a bit more so that my title for my dashboard is in the center of my page. Now that our title is done, we can move on to the visuals themselves. Now, the first visual that I want to create is called Profit by Region. And the visual type that I will select is a donut chart, which is in the third row and the fifth column. So I will click on the donut chart icon, and now while the visual is still highlighted, I can actually start to bring in the relevant fields. So now I can start to add all the required fields into it from my imported table, which can be viewed on the right side under the fields list. So I'm going to select profit in values and region in the legend. And now if I go into focus mode, you can see that this donut chart is representing my profit by region. So I can hover over any of the regions and it will show me the respective profit. Going back to my report view, I will create my next visual, my profit by category. Now this time I'm going to select a different visualization type. Let's say I'm going to go with a funnel chart over here. So because I want to show the profit by category, I'm going to bring in profit, which is my numeric field, into values and category underneath group. And going into the focus mode, you can see that this funnel chart is showing you the profit by each of these categories. And if I hover over any of the categories, let's say technology, for example, you can see the profit for this particular category. Going back to my report, I can simply increase the size of each of my visuals. Now, the next visual that I'm going to create is a tree map, which will be showing me the average sales by segment. So the visual type that I'm going to select this time is a tree map, which is in the third row in the last column. And I'm going to be showing the average sales by segment. So I'm going to bring in the relevant fields from the fields list on the extreme right. And because I'm showing my average sales by segment, I'll bring in sales underneath values and segment underneath group. Now I'm going to go into the focus mode, and as you can see, if I hover over it, you can see the sales for each segment. Now, one thing to note is that I want to show the average of sales by segment, not the total sales by segment. For that purpose, what I can do is I can change the type of aggregation by going over here, clicking on this drop-down arrow and simply changing the aggregation type to an average. And now it's showing me the average of sales by segment. And again, if I go into my focus mode and hover over any of the segments, it's going to show me what the average of sales are like. Now going back to my report and onto the next visual. So now I'm actually going to create a clustered bar chart depicting total sales by subcategory. So in the visualization panel on the right, I'm going to select a clustered bar chart over here. And then I'm going to bring in total sales in values. So total sales, which is a numeric field, in values, and subcategory inside axis. And then I can scroll down and you'll see the total sales for each category. And I can go into focus mode for a clearer view. Now back to the report, and the final visualization that I feel should be added to my dashboard is the quantity of items sold. The final visualization that I feel should be added to my dashboard is the quantity of items sold. Now the visualization type that I'm going to select is called a gauge, located here in the 4th row and the 3rd column. The reason for selecting a gauge visual over here is that I only want to show a single data point, a single important value, which in this scenario is the quantity of items sold. So while making sure that my visual is selected, I'll add the quantity numeric field into my value. And there you go. As you can see, the quantity of items sold in the company is 38,000. So in a few moments, we were able to create an entire dashboard for the Superstore US database, which is extremely beneficial in that it helps us analyze the sales performance for the company itself. We used many different visualization types to get you guys familiar, and in the next video, we're going to explore the formatting options for each specific visual and format this entire dashboard. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.